feeling the gentle in and out of your breath. Allowing the busyness of the week, the busyness of the morning, simply settle into this moment. Allowing your body to relax. Allowing your eyes and your shoulders to relax. Simply being present here and now. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. As we settle into this New Year's Day, we set the intention for our year of going forward. May I be filled with loving kindness. And may I be happy. May I be peaceful and at ease. And then widening out our circle just a bit. Think of somebody in your life who you love dearly. Hold them in your mind as you set intention for them for this year. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. And expanding our circle out to include every person within our spiritual community, our spiritual family. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may May we be filled with loving kindness. And may we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be happy. Expanding our circle out to include every person in our nation, in every state, in every town, and every city. May we be filled with loving kindness. And may we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. And expanding the circle out to include the entire world. Seeing our globe as if looking at it from space, surrounded by loving lights. We send this loving energy out to everybody in the world. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. We take this opportunity just to surround all of Reverend Divine's friends and family, every single person whom she touched in her life, surrounding them with the light of love. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be happy. We take this opportunity just to hold, allow your mind to open and see who appears in your minds, in your intuition that could use some loving energy this morning. Maybe a friend or a relative, maybe somebody that you don't always get along with, maybe somebody you've never met. Maybe somebody that you've heard about in the news. Just see them surrounded by loving lights and wish them well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be filled with loving kindness. And may you be well. yourself standing in front of a mirror. Look deeply into your own eyes. And if you're willing, gently place your hand over your heart as you set that intention for 2023. In this new year, may I be filled with love and kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. In this moment of silence, each breath, just simply know I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. With a deep, mindful breath, become aware again of your body, placing your attention gently on your breath, feeling the peace and loving kindness fill you with each breath. Returning to this room, feeling your body in the chair, feeling your feet upon the floor.
in my eyes, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, in my life. I have been searching for something, but you were my dream. You're perfect, you're golden, you're light, you're love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. When I breathe, when I swallow, caress I feel. When I listen, I hear the most beautiful music out of nowhere. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, you're light, you're love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. Light-a-di-di-di-di, 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 light-a-di-di-di-di. When I'm sad and dark, shallow and in doubt, when I'm trying my best to put one foot in front of the other. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever, and your reflection. I'm perfect, so I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection in you is me. Whoa. Light-a-di-di-di-di, 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 light-a-di-di-di-di. You're always there, you never.
Hello. Is that loud enough? Hello. I don't think that's the right one. It's not this one. That's the one I turned down. Hello.
There you go. Well, I guess you're not a full volume. But we can adjust it. Can I try it?
Maybe that wasn't the right one.
No, it is. That's what you're on.
Hello. Should be loud enough. Okay. Woo.
to expressing and destiny. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect. So I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing that I'm perfect. I'm golden. You're the light of my life. You're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect. So I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection in you. Here's me. Oh, light, 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 you're perfect, golden light, my love. You're perfect, golden light, my
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to CSLB Beaumont. CSLBB. Let's go ahead and enjoy our song of the day. Yeah, it works.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You are the place.
moves and breathes and has
We are the place. me. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Well, welcome for anybody who is online, because I know most of you all know me, but my name is Neil Hayner. I am a ministerial intern here at the Spiritual Living Beaumont. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you for joining me in community for 2023. And if you are online, I welcome you too. And if you can type in the chat, let us know that you're watching, where you're watching from. Say good morning to your virtual neighbors. For those of you that may not have heard the news, we are starting off our morning with a heavy heart this morning as we honor Reverend Divine, who made her transition on Thursday. And I have really enjoyed reading all of the Facebook messages from all of the people that she has touched and the lives that she has touched. If you haven't had a chance to go onto her Facebook page, it's a pretty awesome ongoing memorial for her this morning. And you can really see the effect that she had on people's lives. So it's definitely a life well lived. And I want to light a candle for her this morning. And we're lighting this candle in her memory, knowing that she was definitely a light in our lives and a light to all those that she touched. And so I invite you this morning, if you haven't already silenced your cell phone, please do that this morning. And we're just going to let this music take us into the silence, followed by this morning's invocation.
This moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. And I know this voice of love, it is singing through my life. It is all I am, every part of me. It is all I choose to be. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is
We simply recognize that there is only one life, one love, one presence, one principle. That name that we so often give it is God because it's simply the biggest word that we know. We know that God is all that there is, and that love is one of the essential qualities of the divine. There is only one. There is only one love, one law, one mind, one peace, one wisdom. And it is present this morning, filling this time, filling this space, filling each one of us. And knowing that that is true, I know that this time together, this community gathering is blessed. It is unfolding under divine grace, under divine guidance, in perfect ways that speak to each person within the sound of my voice. I know that as we gathered this morning, we gather together in love, we gather together in peace, we gather together with the intention of moving into this new year full of love. And knowing that is true, I am simply grateful, and together we say, and so it is. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the amazing, the astounding, the miraculous Betty Ann James, who we all owe a big thunderous round of applause for her great co-hosting of our Kwanzaa event this week.
I have been told to accept when somebody gives me a thank you, to simply say thank you. It's hard, but I'm doing it. I'm learning. It's a process. Today I have to tell you that, as Neil said before, Reverend Divine gave all of us so much, so much. When I first met her, she asked me, do you celebrate Kwanzaa? And I said, well, yes, we do all of the cultural celebrations here. And she says, well, I think we should have it on Wednesday night because that's the third night of Kwanzaa. I said, oh, okay. She said, I'm putting it out there and I want the community to be involved. All right, so when you get something from Reverend Divine, it's not just a tap on the shoulder. It's a, you're gonna do this. It was so gratifying. She was in the audience, and the kids always say she was in the house. Today is the last day of Kwanzaa, and it's the day of Imani. Imani is used in Swahili, it's a Swahili word that means faith and belief. And that's where we are to now. We are in faith and we totally believe. So I thank you. The announcements for this week, this month actually, January 8th after service, our ministerial intern, Neil, will be holding hosting a workshop immediately after service called Reflections and Renewal. Bring your journals and start the new year right. And there will be a love offering. There is a sign-up sheet which is here, okay, if you're interested in doing that activity after service on January the 8th. A new group is forming here, and it'll be a craft group. And there have been a lot of talented people in this community, and they want to get together and express their creativity. This will start January 18th in Carter Hall at 10 o'clock. Those interested, just see Emmy later and or be here on that date. Thank you. After service on the third Sunday of every month, except in February, we're holding our monthly potlucks. This month's theme is Chinese, because this is the Chinese New Year as well. Bring your favorite Chinese dish. We have a new class also starting January 21st at 9 a.m., and it's an 8-week course about affirmative prayer, and this will be led by Reverend Carey. Please join us for our annual meeting in February 19th, immediately after service. It is a very important meeting that all members attend and learn about the state and the direction of our center, and also we will be voting in new members. Also, a little footnote, if you're interested in being a board member, please contact Yvonne and or one of the, either Reverend Carey or please fill out an application. I'll just leave it that way. I think, yes, that's it. Thank you, Neil, for your gratitude.
My mind is filled
I have such a loud voice, I thought I'd... Hello. There we go. So today's January 1st, and it's not often that January 1st lands on a Sunday. And so I appreciate you guys being here. I know some of you are party animals and probably were up late last night, right? No. If you were like me, you were in bed by 8. But one of our traditions here at the Center for Spiritual Living that we've kind of wandered away from is that as a tradition in the month of January, we kind of go to our roots. So our theme this month is root and reboot. So kind of going back to the basics of this philosophy that we call the science of mind and spirit, and taking a look at what our founder had to say in this big book. Now, this is called the Science of Mind textbook, and we are going to be looking at this month the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind. So this week, we're going to be talking about the thing itself. There we go. The thing itself, which is kind of another way of saying God. What is this thing that we call God? Now, I want to do before I jump into that, I want to do a couple of plugs. And the first one is, if you don't already own a Science of Mind textbook, I suggest that you may want to get one. I think you'll enjoy it more than you think you might. But it also has in the front cover, way back in the day, our spiritual leader, Edward Fillion, before he became the spiritual leader, he actually wrote a yearly reading plan for the Science of Mind textbook. So if you look at the beginning, it actually tells you what to read on January 1st all the way through the end of the year. So if you've never had a chance to do that, I would encourage you to do that. It's a good thing to do. I also want to start this morning by, since it's the new year, I would like to read the first page of the Science of Mind textbook. And this is kind of a famous poem that Ernest Holmes wrote. For those of you that might not know, he was a poet as well as a writer. And this is the poem that's at the beginning of every Science of Mind textbook. It's called Peace Unto Thee, Stranger. Peace unto thee, stranger. Enter and be not afraid. I have left the gate open, and thou art welcome to my home. There is room in my house for all. I have swept the hearth and lighted the fire. The room is warm and cheerful, and you will find comfort and rest within. The table is laid, and the fruits of life are spread before thee. The wine is here also. It sparkles in the light. I have set a chair for you where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Sit and rest and refresh your soul. Eat of the fruit and drink the wine. All is yours, and you are welcome. I thought that would be a good way to start off our year as a community. So my topic today is going to be the thing itself. And I want you to know that you are under no obligation to believe anything I'm saying this morning. It is for your consideration. And if you are new to this philosophy, some of this might be new for you. If you've been in this philosophy for a while, you might hear something in a different way than perhaps you've ever heard before. But the general idea, Ernest Holmes called this creative intelligence. And he said that there was this creative intelligence from which everything in the universe was formed, and that this creative intelligence formed everything from love. This thing itself has a couple of qualities. It is omniscient. That means it's all intelligent, it's all wise. It knows everything because it is everything. It is omnipresent. It is equally present in every part of time and space. And it is omnipotent. Omnipotent, there we go. I knew I was going to mess up that word. Meaning it doesn't have any limitation. Now, if you recognize those three things, omniscient, omnipresence, and omnipotent, omnipotent, you know that those are the qualities of what we would call God. Now, having grown up in different faith traditions, many of us have a different view of what that word means. So it doesn't really matter whether you call it God or love or creative intelligence or the limitless infinity. The word that you call it doesn't matter. So if my calling it God this morning is uncomfortable for you, I honor that and I understand that. So as I'm talking this morning, I just invite you to translate that into your head. One of the famous things that I heard recently that really clicked for me was a minister who said, you know, I use God because it's simply the biggest word in our language. Simply the biggest word we know. But if that word doesn't resonate with you, please feel free to fill in whatever word works for you. Spirit, indwelling presence. But what we believe here at the Center for Spiritual Living and our philosophy is that there is not this big old guy with a big beard sitting on a cloud throwing thunderbolts at people. We don't believe that there is this male deity sitting on a throne making arbitrary decisions about your life. And maybe listening to you if you go to the right church, maybe not listening to you. We don't believe that. What we believe is that there is this creative intelligence, as Ernest Holmes says, and we experience this creative intelligence in two different ways. With a lot of names that you might hear from this platform. Science and spirit, law and love, the objective and the subjective, principle and presence. There's lots of different names that we give this creative intelligence, this mind, this thing that we call God, the thing itself. The first way that we experience it is by principle, or as Ernest Holmes would call, the law. We're going to talk more about this as the month goes on, but this is that part of the universe that is predictable, that is testable, that is observable, and it works the same no matter who you are. Our faith, our philosophy, was originally called religious science. And this is that science part of our faith. We can prove what we believe. We can test it. It is similar to gravity. It's a principle. We know it works. We can test it. And we can live our lives in cooperation with it. And if you've ever not lived your life in cooperation with gravity, you know that it will remind you of its presence. And gravity doesn't matter, doesn't care who you are. This is the impartial part of that creative intelligence that we call God. It works the same for everybody, no matter who you are or where you were born. In his book, The Science of Mind and Spirit, our spiritual leader, Edward Fillion, wrote a book called The Science of Mind and Spirit for Beginners. And what he did was he took these 4 chapters of the Science of Mind textbook that can admittedly be a little intimidating at first, and he wrote it in modern, simplified phrases. So if you have ever been tempted to read the Science of Mind textbook and it felt a little too heavy for you, you can look for his book, which is The Science of Mind and Spirit for Beginners. It's very short, unlike the textbook. He says this, He says, we are used to the thought that if we mix certain colors, we get certain other colors. It is a dependable principle of mixing colors. We know that anyone who blends particular colors will get the same result. The science of mind and spirit proposes that the same is true for the study of metaphysics. A universal principle does not distinguish between people and has no favorites. No favorites. It works the same for everybody who is willing to embody it and live in cooperation with it. The second way that we often experience this creative intelligence, this thing that we call God, is the love, right? So we have law and love. That love is the presence, the principle, and the presence. This is that feeling of connection that you have to the universe, to each other, to your intuition. And it's that mystical experience that has been passed down from all the generations. So I used a little word a little while ago of metaphysical. We consider in our teaching, in this philosophy, that we are a metaphysical philosophy. But what does that mean? Well, meta means alongside or behind. So when we say metaphysical, we say that there is something that is alongside or behind the physical. It is the infinite invisible. One of my teachers at ministerial school talked about the fundamental belief in our philosophy is that the things that we can't see are more real than the things that we can see. That's metaphysical. That's what metaphysics is. Metaphysics is simply the study of life and the natures of the laws of life. It is a study based on the understanding that we live in a spiritual universe and that God, or creative intelligence, or whatever name you want to give it, is in and through around us. Metaphysics seeks to understand the relationship between the universe and our mind. And that comes from Edward Fillion in his book. So, that metaphysics tells us that all of our thought is creative. That all of our thought is creative. Now, it depends on how much you think the thoughts and how much emotional energy that you put behind your thoughts. But basically, we say that what you tend to think about tends to come about. So 1,000 years of experience of mystics and all of these new thought spiritual leaders, and as Ernest Holmes writes in his first chapter of The Science of Mind, is that our thought is creative. What we think about with energy and with emotion tends to show up in our lives. This is how we give direction to the universe. This is how we can live in cooperation and co-creation with that creative intelligence. Now, one way that we set directions for the universe is by setting some intentions. How many of you have already set some New Year's resolutions this year? Now, in our faith and philosophy, sometimes we frown upon this, but I might change your mind about that this morning. I want to give you some interesting facts about New Year's and the New Year's resolutions. The first New Year's celebration dates back 4,000 years to Julius Caesar, who was the emperor of Rome and the first to declare January 1st a national holiday. Have you ever wondered how January got its name? Well, it turns out that January is named after the Roman god Janus, who, interestingly enough, this made me raise my eyebrows, is actually the god of gates and doorways. And so January is the doorway between last year and this year. It is the door that we are all walking through in our lives. And so Caesar, and Julius Caesar, named the month January because he thought it was fitting to have it named after that Roman god of doors and gates. I thought that was pretty interesting this morning. According to the internet, 45% of Americans make New Year's resolutions. I was a little surprised that wasn't higher. There is a tradition to be sure to eat leafy greens on New Year's. Tradition says that the more leafy greens a person eats, the more prosperity he or she will experience. So I'll go home and eat some salad. Many people ring in New Year's by popping open a bottle of champagne. Americans drink close to 360 million glasses of sparkling wine during the New Year. And that dates back to the 17th century when the cork was invented. So we have this tradition of setting New Year's resolutions or New Year's intentions. But my thing about that has always been that we don't have to wait till January 1st to set an intention for our lives. Every day is the first day of the next year. Every day is the first day of the rest of your life. We can set intentions on any day. And here's the thing about New Year's resolutions. Whatever intention or resolution that you are setting this morning, chances are you're going to fall down a few times. But it doesn't matter how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get up, right? Because we have this creative intelligence inside of us. And with that creative intelligence comes absolute freedom. Ernest Holmes says that true freedom cannot be imposed or restricted in any way. The divine plan is for humanity to discover for itself its divine nature. Ernest Holmes said that we are so free that we are free to put ourselves in bondage to old beliefs and old ideas. So my question for you this morning is, what have you been holding yourself in bondage to this morning? What old idea or belief that is no longer serving you, that is self-imposed, are you ready to let go of this year? You have the freedom to set your direction. This month of January is the month that we celebrate the God of the door and the gate. We are all walking through a door today and every day. And every day we choose who we are choosing to be that day. And if you don't like who you're choosing to be, the good news is you can always choose again. Because really, even though the calendar tells us that today is New Year's, every day is New Year's. Every day we have the opportunity to choose love. To choose, as Reverend Divine did, to live in cooperation with that creative intelligence, to touch lives with love. Now, I had the intention of copying this for everybody, but that did not happen this morning. And I love this because it's called the Declaration of Intention. So this is kind of the religious science way to set a New Year's resolution. So I'm going to read it one time through, and then I'm going to read it again and kind of pause and let you think about how you would fill in these blanks. Are you with me? All right. So this year, I will let go of and embrace. I will honor my and love my blank. I will stand up and share my blank with the world. I'm going to say that again. Let's see what ideas pop up in you this morning. This year, I will blank. I will let go of and embrace what? I will honor my and love my blank. I will stand up and share my blank with the world. That's sort of a positive religious science way of setting some intentions this new year, as we do every day. And I know that even as I read that, it seems to me that Reverend Divine woke up and said every day that I will stand up and share my light with the world, because she definitely did that. So today is New Year's. Today we set a new course. We step through a new doorway. We remember that this thing, this creative intelligence that we call God, is all that there is. It goes before us. It directs our path. And we simply set the intention to embrace love and to stand up and share our light with the world in this new year. And so it is. And so I invite you to close your eyes if you are willing and join me in affirmative prayer this morning. Recognizing that one life, that one love, that one principle that we call God is all that there is. There is only one. It is inseparable. It is indivisible. There is only one, and it is equally present in every place, in every time, in every space. It is equally present in each one of us. And so this morning we simply tap into that divine nature, that creative intelligence that is at the center of who and what we are. And I speak my word for each one of us this morning and within every person within the sound of my voice. Setting that intention, speaking the word, letting our word enter into that principle, enter into that law. We set the intention this year that 2023 is going to be a great, amazing year, full of light and love and laughter and community. As we deepen in our spiritual practice, we become more willing, more patient, more loving, more of service to humankind. I know that wherever there is fear or doubt or grief this morning, there is also love right alongside it and behind it. Wherever there is a feeling of lack or limitation, I know that God is there too, expanding, loving abundance. Wherever there is a feeling of a lack of wholeness or of dis-ease, I know that God is there too. God is wholeness, perfect right action, perfect wisdom, perfect grace. And it is from a deep place of gratitude that I give thanks for these words, for this knowing, for this teaching, for this thing, this creative intelligence, which I call God. Knowing that it goes before me, behind me, alongside of me as I enter into every doorway this year. I know its peace, its love, its grace, and its intelligence goes with me, and it goes with you. And so in great gratitude, I simply release this word into that law that always says yes, and together we say, and so it is.
Spirit in the house. Yeah, yeah. I said spirit in the house. Come on, y'all. I done my time, I'm so tired, I give up on my simple mind. It's not working, I'm no good, I'm in need. If I only could find the spirit in the house. Well, yeah, the spirit in the house. Lights just stopped, I go through. Pull me over, said the man in blue. Son, you know what you done did. I said yes, I ran a light of red. What's your hurry, why the race? Who you trying to keep pace with? Take your time now, it's alright. Got your answer, you can't hide from the spirit in the house. Well, yeah, spirit in the house. Yeah, I'm on fire. How about you? Can't you feel the spirit God in you? House ain't home, home is where love's alive when you wanna dwell in the spirit in the house. Well, spirit in the house. Yeah, yeah. I said spirits in the house. The spirit in the house. Spirit in the house, y'all. Spirit in the house, y'all. Hey, spirit in the house.
Together this morning. From God I receive, to God I give. Together we share the blessings we live. I am so blessed. I am so grateful.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
She is right over here. If you are interested in that, please sign up today. And I invite you to, if you are willing, to stand up and circle up as we close out our service this morning with the face of God. And if you do not wish to circle up, you're welcome to stay right where you are. We might not be holding hands this morning, but we know we are connected. As we sing this song this morning to each one around the circle, and we include Reverend Divine in that circle.
I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
I invite you to place your hand over your heart and say with me, there's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in all of my affairs. I feel it. I claim it. And I see it in every area of my life. Thank you, love. Thank you, life. And so it is.